pervy man in or out of sight. Everyone thinks he's just a fright. Day or night he's putting up a show. Calls himself Juno, when really he's Jane. And India's Jonathan. Susie, that's just Eddie. And Gigi's definitely George. Jane is John. Monroe's Ian, carrying on. Rixie, Rachel, or Paris, we'll just call them Dave. But they're all parasites, devouring women's rights, claiming them for their own. Oh, the parasitic man. Oh, he's a parasite.
Good morning, afternoon, whatever it is. Hello, how the devil are you? I'm just going to make this announcement. It's going to be very quick. I might come back and do something later. I'm on the television later on today. GB News, you can find me at about 2:30. If I get back from the dentist. Anyway, I was thinking yesterday, what are we going to do about this nonsense? And I put a tweet up. I put a tweet up yesterday, or maybe it was this morning. Might have been in the early hours of this morning, actually. And I, I said, kind of tongue in cheek, really, I want to set up an anti-Islam trust. Let me show you the little tweet because it went well. So, yes, we know. Just let me do it, please. Screen. Here we go. So it's not my most successful tweet of all time, but it's a pretty successful tweet. So I'm thinking of starting a British anti-Islam trust. This was because of the Muslim Trust, and they're having roadshows. Let me just tell you, they're having roadshows. They've been given about £1 million by the government and various other entities. Like, there's loads of money going into that, and I fundamentally believe the purpose of this is to get blasphemy in, is to get this like Islamophobia, anti-Jew hatred, Islamophobia, anti-Muslim hatred, which actually I believe they promote the hatred of Jews. But there you go. And I think it's a really sinister, very dangerous way of conquering this country. And the reason I say that is not because I'm just a bigot. I might be a bigot, but it's not because I'm a bigot. It's the way that Islam has conquered is by two ways. One of the ways it does it is by killing people. So that's what they're doing in places like Africa, where they're literally genociding Christians, and it's mostly ignored. Or they kill their own people, or they kill other Muslims, but they kill their own people, like in regimes like the Iranian regime. And the other way they do it is this soft, kind of by manipulation, victim status. That's how they got part of India cut off for them. And then they won't be victims. Like, they didn't go into Iran and take over as a terrible regime. They went over to Iran in kind of a similar way that they're doing here. They convince people. Like, who is on the side of Islamists? Well, it's fucking morons, frankly, but it's people who think they're doing the right thing. It's kind, it's nice people, it's accepting, tolerant people who are like, stupid. Muslims aren't so bad. Yes, many of them may have agreed that Charlie Hebdo cartoonists should have been gunned down in their own offices, but generally speaking, they're exactly the same as you and I. So, stupid people. Now, that doesn't mean that every single Muslim isn't the same as you and I. It's just that they follow a religion in which the man that they believe, that they revere as the most holy, wonderful man, who can do no wrong, actually married a 6-year-old and raped a 9-year-old. And it is no coincidence that from that, there are lots of countries that are predominantly Muslim who think that as soon as a woman has her period, you ask Muslims in this country, they think as soon as a woman has had a period, that's why they shroud her head, that she is a risk to the fundamental sins of man, that men can't help but want to put their penis in her. So they believe that the adulthood starts when you start your period. So, like, don't take it from me. Don't take it from me. Search elsewhere. But anyway, so I was like, you'll be able to call our helpline and report all the hateful things done in the name of Islam. We'll feed that back to the government, who will consider what new laws to implement on our behalf. And I'm just going to apply for that million from the government that was given to the British Muslim Trust, and away we go. Right. And so that was kind of a little bit tongue in cheek. However, underneath that tweet, I mean, it's not millions. I think my most successful tweet had about 63 million views. So it's not my most successful tweet. However, people are excited by the prospect, and I just thought, well, why don't I do something like that then? And so I've come up with this. Let me just make sure you can see it. So this is called the British Woman Trust. Do you like it? Do you like this? I like this. So this is the British Woman Trust. This is a protecting our values, our future. It's coming soon. And we have a sister or brother organization called the British Values Trust. So I have secured both of those websites. And I think that the value of tolerance, the value of freedom, I'm not saying that those values are decently upheld in this country right now. I don't think they are, but I think they should be. And I think we have a mismatch. Like every time I talk about Muslim or Islam, someone goes, "What about the Jews?" Well, let me just tell you the difference between there are many differences. There are many differences, but let me tell you why. Whilst I'm sure extreme practices or practices, I don't particularly like circumcision. I think it's barbaric. I would outlaw that in a heartbeat if I became prime minister tomorrow. I just would. I don't think it's right. However, Jews are not a colonizing, expansive religion. Like mostly, you can't be Jewish. You can't convert to Judaism. I know you can, but it's not very common. Jews don't arrive in a country and then demand that everybody starts behaving in their customs, like that we all switch our lights off on a Friday or a Saturday or whatever it is. And they have their own sort of communities that are it's just there are no places in the world where Jewish people have newly arrived and then killed a load of people. And I don't give a shit what you say about Israel. Because I think there should be a Jewish homeland. And if you don't like that, you can kindly kiss my ass. So I'm definitely a Zionist, apparently. Who knew? Not me. And let me just tell you, before October the 7th, I may have been like yeah, well, I think this, and I also think this, and I think this, and isn't it difficult? I don't find that too difficult anymore. I don't. I think 70% of women in Gaza experience domestic violence. I think that in Pakistan, 9 out of 10 street children have been raped. This is a very different culture. As far as we're aware, apart from elite paedophiles that seem to be more linked by their love of raping children and money, there is not that. I mean, there might be that we don't know, but the Epstein, as far as I'm concerned, is not about everybody being Jewish. It's about everybody being rich and powerful. Pakistani Muslim rape gangs are about everybody being Pakistani Muslim, and bonding with their uncles, brothers, cousins, and fathers over the torture, rape, and sometimes killing of predominantly white British girls. Okay? Jews demand their mothers and daughters for prostitution. Look, let me just tell you this. If Jewish men were the only people making a shit ton of money out of prostitution and porn, I'd agree with you. But that's not the common factor by those. It's not being Jewish. It's not the common factor. Look, if you want to present some evidence and you can prove that I'm wrong, I'm happy to hear it. I just know that I'm not. Anyway, so this is the British Women Trust. Like I said, we're going to have another organisation called the British Values Trust. Both of them set up this morning. So the British Women Trust is defending freedom, opposing extremism, and safeguarding our way of life. So the British Women Trust is an advocacy organisation dedicated to the safeguarding the rights, safety, and cultural heritage of women in the United Kingdom. It promotes the protection of long-standing British values such as equality before the law, freedom of speech, and the rights of women and girls to live free from coercion, violence, and discrimination. The trust raises concerns about practices, whether homegrown or imported, but predominantly not our heritage, that believes conflict with these principles, particularly where cultural traditions undermine women's autonomy, access to justice, or equal treatment. Its stated mission is that British law and public policy remain firmly rooted in the protection of women's rights and the preservation of a cohesive, rights-based society. The sort of things that we'll be doing is we'll be meeting, we'll be marching. Let Women Speak clearly is a fundamental part of this. But I really want to underline here that we should be really, really afraid about what's happening in our culture and who pays. Now, women and girls aren't the only people that pay, right? We're not going to be the only people that pay for the decimation of the British culture. But we will be the first, and we will be the most punitively damaged by this. So that's me. Join. You can donate, which really at the moment is just about setting up the website. So this is our logo. It's Boudica or Boadicea, however you want to say it, with a Union flag. You can donate there. Don't go crazy. We only need some money for a website at the moment, but I think that if you're a pink lady and you want to have more of a stand, not just, and pink ladies do wonderful things. If you come to Let Women Speak, if you belong to any other women's organization, if you want to see the preservation, the fundamental preservation of what it means to be a woman in the United Kingdom, then this is our new initiative. Party of Women is also sharing these values because everything's to do with me. But I just thought this would be a really nice, identifiable way of specifically defending our way of life. And I there are many places. Maybe you'll see us having some stalls at different vintage and English fairs across the country. But anyway, welcome. Somebody said that I should do it, so that is what I've done. I am nothing if not spontaneous. So welcome. Anyway, this is the British Women Trust and the British Values Trust. Does exactly what it says on the tin. If you can stand up for your freedoms, because just wanting them is not good enough. Just hoping that somebody else does it is not good enough. You're going to have to get ready to broad shoulders to be accused of all sorts of things, trying to defend what it means to be a free woman in the United Kingdom. Be ready. And if you can do that, I promise we will win. If you can put your big girl pants on and join us on the 27th of June in Whitechapel for this fantastic initiative, then I promise we will win. And do you know why else we're going to win? Well, because I never lose.
no words can replace. She left herself in a quiet, cold place. Years ago, when the world wouldn't bend, she wore a new name, tried to pretend. But the mirror won't lie, it whispers her name. It tells her so harshly she's a woman again. She's not a fad, not a phase, not a girl. She's a storm in the night, contorting herself, trying to stand where her father once stood. She's trying to escape, she's flesh, she's blood. The world won't protect her. They call her a thief, her own body stolen, no sense of relief. The cuts are so deep, the bruises won't heal. She binds herself tightly so she doesn't feel. Who decides what we keep, what we lose? Who we are, can we choose? Forever chasing, never reaching the end. No peace in the cutting, the pain is no friend. She's not a fad, not a phase, not a girl. She's a storm in the night, contorting herself, trying to stand where her father once stood. She cannot escape, she's flesh, she's blood. She hates what she's given, what she can't control. The curve of her breasts, the ache in her soul. She curses the mirror and all that she knew, crushing the truth's blood that bleeds through. No escape, no disguise, she simply can't feel. Flesh tells the story of a girl that won't heal. Scars on her body, dents in her soul, her broken voice just to feel whole. She's not a fad, not a phase, not a girl. She's a storm in the night, herself trying to stand where her father once stood. She can't escape, she's flesh, she's blood. Not a fad, not a phase, not a girl. She's a storm in the night, contorting herself, trying to stand where her father once stood. She cannot escape, she's flesh, she's blood, she's blood, she's flesh, she's blood, she's flesh, she's flesh, she's flesh. She